welcome back. Okay, so this video is following on from the last video that I uploaded, was how to cover the chipboard album with fabric. So we've done that. Now, since I posted that video, I've had quite a few questions asking me, well, one in particular was from Sue Harvey, who wants to know if I'm going to show how I put this album together. The answer to that, Sue, is yes, I will be showing bits and pieces. I'm going to show different pages that I'm going to be doing, and different layouts and things. Sorry my head's cut off in this, guys. I really want just to focus on the album just now. And Laura asked me about Mrs. Stationery stuff. She asked me about the binding. Laura, the answer to that is the binding is the same as the no chipboard album. It's just the measurements are slightly different, so I'm going to show that as well. So as you can see, I'll show you what I've done so far then. So you've seen me put the fabric on, and then all I've done is I've added on some of these gorgeous flowers that Sue gifted me in the sort of bluey purple. I had this acrylic. I have got the picture of Jack, and I don't know if it's showing up yet, it's a stripy picture. And then this looks pink, but it's actually purple. It's a purple glitter paper. More glittery flowers. This denim flower. Some purple beads. And I've added on this puffy sticker. Now, I don't know if you can see it. It says RIP. And it's got this evil looking pumpkin. So I've added that on. So I think the cover is really starting to come together. Now what I've done is added on a closure. And I absolutely love this trim. This was gifted to me by Audrey Shaw. And I just think it's gorgeous. So I used this. This has been attached onto the back. And basically it's going to be closure for the album. And it just ties at the side. So it's really fab. It's really, I just think it's cool. It's really tactile and it goes with the theme. So then in the inside, all I've done now is I've punched a hole for my dangle, and I have made 2 pockets. Both these pockets are made with these adhesive fabric sheets. They're really cool. And I've added on the Oogie Boogie ribbon and wee character ribbon. I don't know what they're called. So these are going to, obviously when the album is complete, that's not going to work, it's too, what can I show you here? When the album is complete, it is going to have tags and journaling spots and wee journaling bits and pieces in here, and some ephemera. So that is where I've got to so far. That's the inside. I've got the front cover. You've got the girl's name on it, like I said, and then we have the gorgeous tie that just ties around and closes the album. So you can see the size of this album now. By the time it's full, it's an absolutely huge album. Okay, so what do we do next? So actually, like I explained before, the width of this is 4 inches, which you might be thinking is too big, but it actually, when you do it and fill it up, it's you need the space to put loads of goodies in. Now the other thing that I made, this goes on the side, and that's why I've punched a hole, and this is the dangle, and I've put it on here. And you see I've got all different ribbons on here, and I've got, that's not supposed to be there, I've got black lace, black and white jute string, and I also attached on this beautiful bead, and I've put on wee pumpkin charm, if you can see it, wee pumpkin charm, the metal pumpkin charm, and I've put on the Santa's sleigh, the toys in it, because that ties in with the story as well. So that goes on to the side of the album there. That's why the hole's punched. Okay, so that goes there when it's finished. So I've done that, and I also went ahead and made a couple of paper clips. I don't know what's going on with the light in here today. I don't know why you can't see that very well. I think it's because the actual button is really dark itself. No, I'll have to hold it back here. I don't know why it's doing that. But I've made this large paper clip, and it's got the lilac on the back. And then this one, again, it's got the circle punch out in the back. So that's the 2 of them that I've made so far. And then I also had this purple peg, and I had this acrylic jewel that Michelle Stratford gifted me, and I've just added that onto there, and I've made this wee altered purple peg. So that's all going to tie in when it's all finished and completed, you will see that. But let's concentrate on getting this binding done. So I've pulled out lots of different bits and pieces. Let's tip you back down again so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and like I said, I've pulled out some of the fabric, sticky fabric pieces. I've got some of this pearlescent paper. I'm going to use this for cards. Now it looks as if I'm doing everything in purple and lilacs. I'm not. Like I explained before, the papers from the digital kit that I bought, here's one of them. This one's in the black and white stripe. There is lots of greens and oranges and things like that that match all this ribbon. So you might think I'm doing a lot in the purples, but this is just the beginning stages. This is a long way to go yet. So I've pulled out some of this shimmer paper for doing different tags. I've got some of this purple. I've got some different shades of purple. I've got bigger sheets, and I've got some black. I will be using greens and oranges and all sorts as well, but right now for this part, this is the colour that we're going to be using, so I need the black. So what we need just now is my squeaky paper trimmer. Let me move this glue out the road. And this is the measurements that we need. So I'm doing my binding, excuse me, my binding in black. My pages, some of my pages I might do in black, but I'm going to do my pages orange, green, purple and black. So this first piece, I'm going to cut this to exactly 4 inches. That is the size of the spine. Okay, it's 4 inches across, 4 inches. The next one, I am going, oops, behave. I'm going to take it to 3 3/4. Three and 3/4. And then 3 1/2. Three and a half. So try and keep them, when you're cutting them out, keep them in the order that you cut them out in, or you'll end up getting them all mixed up, and it's because there's such a small size between them, you'll end up getting them mixed up, because I've done it loads of times. So what do we get to? 3 1/2. So then we are going to 3 1/4. I'm just making sure it's straight. 3 1/4. Then we're going to 3, and this is inches obviously that we're working on. 3. Oh, sorry about that squeaking, guys. Fast forward this bit if you like. 3, and then 2 3/4. So we're going down basically in 1/4 of an inch increments. And then 2 1/2. Was that 3 3/4 that I've done there? I'm losing the plot. Or was that 2 1/2? That was 2 1/2, wasn't it? Yep, it was already 2 1/2, so we're going to 2 1/4 this time. Lucky I checked that. Like I said, I'd have been baffling myself. 2 1/4, and then the final one is 2. Okay, perfect. Put this out of the way, and now we need our scoreboard. Trusty scoreboard. Still don't have a 12 inch. Every time I bring it out, I'm saying, oh, I need to get to it. I never pick it up. I never remember. I keep working on this one all the time. Eventually, you go into the craft shop to buy a scoreboard and there's too many other good things and you think, a scoreboard can wait. I want to get some goodies first. Right, so we have, what you should have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Okay. Now, let me think. Is that right? 8? Yeah, no, it is right. Yeah, 8 is right. And we're going to go in and score at 1/2 inch. Turn it round. This is one of the easiest binding systems, and I like it because you can adjust and add any amount of paper that you like. So you could take it up to half an inch increments on your scoring, instead of doing it, you know how I was coming down in 1/4 inch, you could do it in 1/2 inch. You could do your paper whatever width you want, depending on what size of album you were doing. So I'm just going down. I'll keep doing a few more. I don't want to sit and watch me scoring them all. This gives you the time though to write down your measurements. Now, as you see, I haven't given you a measurement as of yet as how tall they're going to be, and that is because this system will work on a 4-inch binding system, regardless of how tall your book is. So it's really up to you what size. I mean, you could have it maybe 4 inches by 4 inches. You could have it 8 inches by 4 inches. It doesn't make any difference on your score lines. That's why I didn't give you that. But obviously, at the book that I'm doing, I'll show you how to make it fit into the album that you're making. So I might as well keep going now. No point pausing you now. I'm just about finished. My hand, I'm sorry I'm a bit slower, guys. My hand's still really sore and stiff. This pressure bandage that my husband put on for me actually helps a lot, but it still doesn't take away the pain altogether. So keep going. 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. And the final one, I'll just go down. So if you're crafting along with me doing this, making this binding system, this is giving you time to do it with me rather than having to pause me and then start me, and it's maybe a wee bit easier. So we've got all 8 pieces of our card, and what we're going to do is score. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me doing this because this will take me longer because my hand's really sore. I'm going to have to use my left hand more. So all we're doing is folding over on our score lines and reinforcing them. And by reinforcing them, I just mean scoring them with a bone folder or whatever you use to do your folding. So I will do all this and I'll be back in a wee second. Okay, so I've done all my folding. It was actually quite hard. This is 300 GSM black card, Hobbycraft card, and it's maybe a wee bit thick for it. You could get away with doing 250. Obviously, this album that I'm making, someone is purchasing, so I like to try and use the best of materials that I can, but I think even for me that's a wee bit thick. I think 250, because as much as it is good to use, the heavy card, and it obviously gives you the best quality finish, it's quite hard to fold, so you don't have to go as heavy as the 300. So, okay, so what we're doing then is we're taking the largest one, and that's what I do when I'm folding them. I sit them all inside each other so that I know that I've got them all together. And then let's take the first one and turn the rest over so we'll go down the way. I always lie it like this away from me so it's facing me vertically. And I have reinforced these all with my bone folder. My trusty Anita's glue, let me just make sure that it is running, if I can find my pokey tool, which I probably can. Let's see if it's running first. No. Oh, wait a minute, it might be. No, wait a second, I'll be right back. Okay, found it and unblocked it. So, which is my biggest bit yet. So all I do is the exact same as my other binding, just go in with the glue all the way around. Make sure you're putting on plenty of glue. This glue is actually really good anyway, you don't have to use hundreds yet, it's got a really good fix. And then I just open it out a wee bit so I can see what I'm doing. Line it up at the bottom. And all you're doing is making sure that you've got the same space on each side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to the eye to make sure your pages are going to be straight. And that is good enough. And you just press it down. What? Oh my gosh. My grandson just fell off the bed. I told he's fine. He's absolutely fine. I tell you, this drives me nuts. I'm really going to start actually going nuts. Every time I go on the video or come onto YouTube, always something happens or they start shouting mum. It's starting to really get me fed up. It's not that when they want to do something. Anyway, rant over. So, next one. Again, I'm just eyeballing it, making sure that it's pretty straight. And you just keep doing this until you get to the last one. And the good thing about having so many layers, especially with this being the 300 GSM, is it gives you a really, really strong binding. Once this is in, you are not going to be taking it out. And it's not going to be going anywhere. It's not going to be falling apart or anything. It's absolutely there for life. Unless you deliberately attack it with a pair of scissors or something. Okay, next one. Like so. You just keep going. And then I will show you, once I've done this, now I find it easier to put this together and then find out the length that I need. Unless, like I said, it was a specific, you've already done it and it was 4x4 or something like that. But if there's not much to come off it, I do it this way, so I find it easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I've only got another 3 to put in. I'll pop them in and I'll be straight back. Okay, so that is all stuck together. Now once that dries, like I said, it will be absolutely solid. You'll find it's like laminate flooring. The more layers you put on, the more solid that it gets. So we have 8 pages on this side and 8 pages on this side. So we've got 32 in total, which is 64 on both sides. So like I said, that's why you need the 4-inch spine, because by the time you decorate all the pages, it takes up a lot of space. Now, we'll open this back up and we're going to put this in here. Now this is the bit that I mean, as you can see, okay, I'll stand this up, I don't know if you can see it. That is how much I need to take off this. But first of all, I need to, what I do is I just put it in the centre, find out roughly where I want it. And that is about there, I would say. Okay, hold it down. And what have you done with me trusty pencil? Honest to goodness, I'm going to start putting things on my neck, on a bit of wool. Did you ever do that when you were at school? My mum used to give us a key and put it on our necks. I went round my neck so that I didn't lose it. Now, if you have, if you want to, you can put this through your trimmer, but I don't, because you know what I'm like. I just do it the quickest way, which would be to cut it if I can find my scissors. Again, my gosh guys, you must be fed up watching me doing this all the time. Oh, okay, got them. So, give that a wee wiggle. And I've just put a wee mark in, and I try and do it as straight as I possibly can. And usually if you do it this way by eye, you can get it no bad. I'm taking off about 1 centimetre here. Yep, you can see just about. I've got it about as perfectly straight as I'm going to get it. So that bit can go in the bin. And all we're going to do is put our binding system in our book. And it's so easy. It's just adding the glue. Now I put the cut bit to the bottom. Not that it makes much difference, to be honest, because you can't even really see it's been cut, but I always do it anyway, just to make sure, in case there's any wee bits. Add loads and loads and loads of glue, and then you're just going to stick it onto the centre. Now what I do is I'll have a wee look, hold up one side and have a wee look roughly where it's going to go. And this is what's a good thing about using the wet glue. You can just sort of move it about a bit until you see where you want it. And as you can see, down the edges we've got 1/2 inch of a space on each side, which is really cool because we're going to fill up these pockets. So this binding system isn't my idea. I seen it on, I can't even remember, it was a while back. There was quite a few people, lots of people do this system. All I've done is, sorry guys, my chair's squeaking away. All I've done is adjust it to the size of album that I make, and adjust it to, like, there was hardly any space when I first started doing it, and I adjusted the measurements so that I had 1/2 inch on each side, so that I've got plenty of space to put my pockets in. Some people don't need it, some people don't put pockets on the inside, and that's why they don't do that. They have it straight up to the edge, but I don't. I like to put pockets in so people can get loads of ephemera in their albums. And then just push these up to make sure that it's all stuck correctly. And that, let's do that like that. It's now got the, oops, can you see? It's got the inside of the binding. Can't even really see it, can you? And it looks like that. Now, I will put on some of the pages to show you. Let's see, what have I got here? Right, give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I've chosen on my card for both sides. I've got 8 cards for both sides. I've chosen which ones I want to go in, and I've cut them down to size. Again, there isn't any point in me telling you particular measurements because each album will be different. All I've done was hold up my piece of card against my binding, put a wee pencil mark, and then trimmed it down to the size that I needed it. And then this part is really, really simple. You just need to push your binding away from you, try and flatten it down a bit. And then each page you're just going in. Now don't go to the very, very bottom of it, because you want to leave it a bit of movement so that it can open. It's not really, I mean, it'll still open anyway, but it just ends up neater. So if I can kind of show you that, you see the very, very bottom of the wee flap. Well, I'm just going to go like a couple of millimeters. You see that? A couple of millimeters away from the edge. And literally is just a couple of millimeters. And I'm just going to pop that on there. And then just hold it down. And what I do is open it up and flatten it out. I love this binding system, it's so easy, and it actually gives you such a nice clean result as well. You just need to hold it for a second and keep checking on your other side and make sure that it's flat, which it is, and do that, and then we just go on to the next one. we'll just keep doing that until all of our pages are in. So if you want a tutorial, sorry, for an album with specific measurements, I do have my no chipboard album tutorial on my channel. It's in 4 parts and it is in my tutorial playlist. If I remember, I will link it down below, and that is the exact same binding system. It's just on a no chipboard album. So if you want specific measurements, take a wee look at that series. Just press that down. So I'm just going, I'm not going to do this all on camera. I'll just do a few and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like, so you don't have to sit and watch me doing this. What is the cut side? I always put the cut side to the bottom because it just makes it look a wee bit neater. This bit is a wee tiny bit fiddly. It's not hard at all. It's just sometimes a wee bit fiddly. I'm just trying to get a wee bit at the bottom, especially when you've got a sore hand. But I get there. So you can see we've got 3 pages in already. So I will pause it and I will put the rest in and I will come back. Okay, so I've put in all the pages. And this is what it looks like. Open it up. We have our... Now, you might be thinking, how is it still lying flat? And that is because of this binding that I've done with the fabric. You remember, I didn't do it all in one piece. I done it in the 3 pieces. So, I lie it like this. And we've got, like I say, we've got a wee pocket at the front. So it's the bare bones of the book are now complete. We can go about making our tags, making our tuck spots, making our pockets, making our flip outs. So I'll just show you what I've done. I've got the purple, I've got the orange, and the black, and the light lilac green. This really vibrant orange, more black, this shade of purple. This is the centre, and when I'm doing it, I will be putting ribbon up the centre of there. And then I've just repeated the colours all the way around to the back and in the back pocket. So already, just by putting all that card in, the book is a lot heavier. And you can see, bring the tie into the front. I don't know what is going on. Wait a second. Okay, so that's it. That's a bit better. So we can come out and have a look now, because we've done the tutorial part. So yeah, that is what it is looking like. So like I said, we've got all these pages on the inside. They're all going to match the colour of the kit. So we've got 8 on this side, which is, so that's 16. Yeah, that's right. Actually, my gosh, as you know, if you've seen my video correcting my pocket letter swap, you'll know that I'm no good at maths. It's my husband that has to help me out. So it's not 60 whatever pages it is. You've got 8 on this side, so that's 2 sides, so it's 16, and 8 on this side, 16, so it's 32 pages that you've got. But by the time I do the double flip outs and things, you get a lot more pages in it. So that is pages into the book, and that's how you do it. And if you look closely, you can't see where the joins are. You can't see like what you see. There's no binding like when you're sewing. It just looks like the book is all put together. So that's where I am with that so far. So I hope that helped you out a wee bit. I don't know how good I am explaining things, but that is where I am so far with the lovely album. So thank you everybody. If you have any questions or anything, I'll put you up a wee bit. If you have any questions, leave them in the description box down below. Not description box, the comment box. and I'll be happy to answer them for you if you want to know anything about the album. And yeah, probably the next, a lot of the pull out pages and things you will see in my No Chipboard album. If I'm doing anything different to it, I will come on and show you, but if not, I'll just be doing bits and pieces, and I will come on at the end and show you it when it's finished. Hit that wee thumbs up for me, guys, I really appreciate it, and hit the subscribe if you haven't done so. Hit the bell for my notifications, and I will be back on very soon. Bye bye.